Good afternoon and welcome to m.m.e. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Transformers Legacy United Robots in Disguise 2001 Sideburn in their vehicle mode. We've already discussed the robot mode in a previous video. We've discussed the transformation. Now it's time to break down the vehicle mode and talk about its pros and its cons and discuss the final grade for the overall product of this transformer, which is what we do here, blind_prime. We like to break our transformers down into 3 videos or 4 videos or 5, and at the end of the video segments we like to give a final grade for the product overall. So this video you'll be hearing my grade for the vehicle mode, and then you'll be hearing my overall rating of Sideburn. And I hope that you watch it to the end to experience, figure out what I think of this guy overall. And I hope that you hit the like button. I hope that you share, and I hope that you subscribe. And please go below and tell me in the comments what is the Robots in Disguise 2001 vehicle or transformer that you would love Hasbro to make. We've already gotten Omega Prime. We've gotten Sideburn now. Is it one of the Autobot brothers? Because, I'd like to see some more of the Autobot brothers. But honestly, for me, it's that construction crew. Or no, it's the trains. I loved the train bots in Robots in Disguise 2001. Give us the train bots. Those were fun. And Hasbro announced it was never going to do them again. And they're like, oh, don't you do that to us. Now, that was a different time back then. You could redo the train bots. It's been over 20 years. You can do them again, Hasbro. You can do them again. It's okay. But those are the ones I want. All right, I want the Constructicons from Robots in Disguise, and I want the Train Bots from Robots in Disguise. I definitely wanted Omega Prime, and that wish was granted. And that was kind of funny because when I was at TFCon Orlando last year, I was doing my panel, More Than Meets the Eye, where blindness and Transformers intersect. And in it, somebody asked me what was the one Transformer I would love to see them do. And I said Omega Prime, because Omega Prime was awesome. And then later, they did Omega Prime. And I was like, well, I got to back this thing. So let's get into this now. I am done, blathering about things. Oh, one more thing. All of you out there, have a safe and happy 4th of July. Please don't close your fist around a firework. Let's have a 4th of July without loss of fingers. I think it would be wonderful. It would be a nice, pleasant bit of news for America. If we can do that, that would be swell. And also hydrate yourself, okay? Look, it's 88 degrees outside right now where I live, and that's not really a hot day in Florida, but the humidity is at 74%. That means that not only is that a hot day in Florida, it's a blistering day in Florida. Oh my God, I walked around the block this morning, and I came back, I had to change my shirt. I was covered in water, and it's just sheer humidity here. Oh wow, lots of it. We had to plug the dehumidifier in the kitchen because our air conditioning vents were dripping. I just walked by and something hit me on the shoulder last night. I'm like, what in the world? Yeah, the humidity was so high, our air conditioning vents started dripping. No worries, we have a dehumidifier because we live in Florida and we understand the humidity is going to be a thing. So if you live in Florida, you can get a dehumidifier. And if you can't get a dehumidifier, then take a bunch of those ice packs that are sealed and put them in a container. And put that container on a towel, and then set a fan up next to that container, and it will spread cold air through your home. But the ice packs will collect the moisture from your home. That fan will bring the moisture through. The moisture will stick to the ice packs, and all you'll get is cool, dry air. I call it a poor man's dehumidifier, and it's also known as a swamp cooler. So go check that one out if you need a cheap and effective and easy way to cool your home down at a time where the prices for power are going to be astronomical. So let's get into it now. Let's talk about this cool Dodge Viper. So let's bring in the size comparisons first. We got Bumblebee here from Earthrise, the Walmart exclusive. And comparing him to the rear, we've got about a finger's worth of space from the front of Sideburn to the front of the bumper of Bumblebee here. Now comparing them like this, comparing their widths, Bumblebee is not as wide as Sideburn. Bumblebee is actually skinnier than Sideburn. But Bumblebee is also taller than Sideburn. So we're going to put the Bumblebee there. And now we're going to come over here and bring out the handy dandy Lego pad and take a look at Sideburn's entire length. There it is. He is about 15 studs long. Width-wise, he is 6 studs wide. That's decent for a vehicle. Though the normal is 8 studs wide, so he is a bit on the longer side than vehicles and a bit skinnier than the average vehicle in the Transformers chug line so far. Since Siege, they've been trying this one type of scale, and it's been working in my opinion. I've absolutely loved how everything seems to be in good scale, and how the vehicles seem to be in good scale with one another. Let's see if I can grab one more vehicle to showcase that. What do we got here? We've got G2 Sideswipe. And G2 Sideswipe is a good vehicle to compare to the Dodge Viper here. And we see that we do indeed have some kind of issues here. It seems like they may have shrunk the Dodge Viper just a bit, because I'm pretty sure a Lamborghini and a Dodge Viper are about the same in size. Unless the Lamborghini is indeed wider than a Dodge Viper, because he is definitely wider than the Dodge Viper. But height-wise, the Dodge Viper and him are the same height. Length-wise, the Dodge Viper is not as long as Sideswipe's Lamborghini mode. So that's a comparison of two sports cars together that you may see on the street near each other in some neighborhoods. All right, now let's get into the actual talking about this thing. Now, the first thing I want to bring up is my negative on these wheels. I don't like it when they don't include hubcaps. I love me some nice hubcaps. I think hubcaps are cool. I don't like it when they do this weird pin thing. They could easily do that pin thing in reverse. Instead of pinning it on the wheel, they can just have the wheel pin into a hole, and then the wheel would spin, and we'd get a nice hubcap instead of this solid piece in the middle that doesn't spin. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I always think that's a negative. Yes, it is nice to have a place to put the gun. Whenever he's in robot mode, he can holster it there. But you could have given us a hubcap and actually put a little hole in that hubcap to do the same thing with. We didn't need this weird pin thing, and I never like these weird pin things. And that was my big negative with Gears. Gears overall was an amazing robot, but he only got like a 9.8 because of the pinned wheels. But he definitely got 10s in a lot of things. Now, other than the pinned wheels, I love this guy. This is a wonderful transformer. It's solid. It feels like a Viper, though the engine is definitely different. So we'll start from the front and we'll go down. But I just want you to know, first off, this is a heavy guy. He's sturdy. He's strong. When you get him in this mode, this is a solid mode. Definite bonus points for it being such a solid mode. Now, coming from the front, we've got this weird thing that Dodge Vipers have, this weird little bit that sticks out on the front, some sort of air intake for the engine, but it does 3 sides air intake for the engine. I guess that's better for the engine. Coming on here to the sides, we've got some nice bumper stuff. We got some good headlights in there. Yeah, we got some headlights that are sculpted in, and there's the side lights sculpted into. I like it whenever they do that. I've got this wonderful engine that definitely is not an engine that you would find in most Dodge Vipers. I'm pretty sure there would be a hood covering this engine, but this engine's popped up a bit, which tells me it may be just a little too big for the Viper. But it's it's well sculpted. It is a very well sculpted engine. They did a lot of good with it, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that it's not just a square that they painted with engine look. It's actually there. You can feel it with your fingertips. Now, coming down the sides of the vehicle mode, we've got some wonderful sides here for the doors, because he's got these 2 sweeping doors that go down the sides, because Dodge Vipers are they do have a back seat, but it's one of those back seats where you have to open the front door and then you have to put the seat down so someone can climb into the rear section. And so that's nice. Yeah, it's nice that they did that. And over here where the hinge is, they actually sculpted the hinge and molded the hinge so that the hinge doesn't even feel like a hinge. It actually feels like it's part of the vehicle mode, and that's something I always approve of. That will always get a vehicle mode extra points whenever they manage to hide the hinge in what they're doing there. That is very well done. Now, coming around here to the back, we've got the spoiler across the back trunk area, and then we have this bumper that is actually detachable and replaceable. So you can just pull the bumper off, but you've got some lights in there that are sculpted in. You got that rear middle light that's always there in vehicles sculpted in there. And then on the sides, do we have any more lights sculpted into the sides? We may be missing a couple. Nope, there they are. They're just lightly sculpted into the edges of this bumper. That's very nice. And then finally, well, before we get to that, we'll look at the underside. The underside for this vehicle mode is very well done. It's smooth. There's a couple of nubbin things, but it does actually kind of feel like the underside of a car. You've got this long bit that obviously like the transmission for the vehicle. It goes all the way down towards where the engine would be. And yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that they did manage to try and slip in the robot stuff on the underside, but also slip it in such a way that it kind of feels like it's the underside of a car. More of a sci-fi car, but still, you got that solid no gappage going on, except where the engine is, and that's it. Now, finally, we're going to talk about the roof. The roof is very interesting because it's a parts forming piece, but this is the best part about this transformer, in my opinion, is that this roof is made with clear plastic, and that's a worrisome thing, except this clear plastic roof connects into 4 points, but it lightly connects. It doesn't, you don't have to press on it hard to get it to connect to those points, and you just have to make sure the transformer is even so that they actually all line up. But there's not much stress on this clear piece of plastic, and this clear piece of plastic is just a shield, so you can actually remove it. Now, before we remove it, we'll talk about how it feels. We've got two rear view mirrors, one on each side. We've got a nice front windshield. We've got a siege port on top. We've got some side windows and a back window. It's a decent roof for a vehicle. Then you can pop it up, and inside we've got his gun. His gun can actually store. It's not a hard storage point, so it just kind of flops around in there. But now you have to put siege port down, so the handle has to go down, and you can just kind of slide that guy in there, and then it falls in between the arms and just kind of hangs out in there, and then you can close the roof down on top of it. And that's what makes this vehicle mode a solid 9 out of 10. This is a good vehicle mode. Weapon storage. As a blind person, I don't have to worry about losing that gun if I want to keep him in vehicle mode, and that gun's not going to be showing on the outside of the vehicle. It's stored. I love me some gun storage inside the vehicle mode. This guy is a top-notch transformer. This is a lot of fun. His transformation's fun. His robot mode is fun. His vehicle mode gets a 9. His robot mode gets a, I think I gave it an 8. And his transformation definitely gets a 9 because it is a lot of fun. So overall rating, an 8.7 for this guy out of a possible 10. Because it is a very good transformer, and I do recommend getting it. I highly recommend getting this transformer while it's on the shelves. This is a good start for the Robots in Disguise 2001 line if you did not back the HasLab Omega Prime, but you did like 2001 Robots in Disguise. This is a good start for that, and I'm hoping that they do the rest of the brothers soon. I am excited to see more or experience more with my hands Robots in Disguise 2001 characters. But I have blathered on about this long enough. I'm going to go out and enjoy my 4th of July. You go out and enjoy your 4th of July. And we'll meet up here tomorrow where I'll talk about some Legos. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.